For me, Poetics of Reverie. It comes to mind ideas of creativity, sort of recreating, reimagining, in a way, maybe re-beautifying an experience. When you think about poetry, that's what they do, but they do it with spoken word. And in a way, as visual artists, we're trying to do it, more through like a visual aesthetic or visual language, but that's what it means. They're parallel to memory, because I feel like whenever you're like recounting a memory, you always have like sort of like a sense of longing for like a time. They take you to a place in which you kind of want to relive that moment. And I mean, for my work, it's not necessarily, I work about memory, but I think of it not only as influenced by childhood memory, but almost a kind of collective human memory.
These are just a part of the memories that I can recollect from my childhood, but living in the country and doing all that stuff. And I tried to bring these pieces to life even more by framing it in barnwood that brought out more of, I'm a country boy, and this is what I did, and this is more about me. But the pieces were supposed to relate to everyone, not just me.
So it's like this piece in the background with the guy looking to the horizon and the little kid here doing something. It doesn't necessarily have to communicate to somebody as it being like something that's really from their personal memory, but there's something about it that you can connect to in a very human level. So memories, in my idea, not only exist as a personal bank of experiences, but as a collective bank of experiences as human beings.
I'm glad she brought that up, because mine don't just focus on my childhood, it focuses on everyone's childhood. Everybody's dressed as like a superhero, everyone is like trying to catch some kind of animal, or talk through cans trying to have a telephone, or singing a fan to make their voice sound like auto-tune and stuff like that. So I try to make it broad, just not my childhood.
I never think about memory as something that's fixed. It's always amorphous as well. Like, one day you might be thinking about the same thing. Like, I went down the street and I saw these red flowers. But then the next day you're like, oh, I went down the street and I saw the red flowers, but I think there was a dog on the side. Like, there's always little things that kind of creep in and out. And I feel like that's kind of like what the smoke pieces are like. You would look at them and in a way they come in and out of focus sometimes. And the whole nature of like the medium that I'm using is, similar to ideas of memory.
My pieces do the same. They try to go in and out, and I tried to work them so there's like a 10-foot minimum that you can be away, and you can't come within 2 feet and see everything. So, I try to keep them a little bit light and delicate and kind of put a little beauty into them, so it brings back only like positive memories, not any like negative or thing like that. So.
The first time that I work with another artist in like a two-person show, you know what I mean? I've been in like group shows or like individual shows, but there's more of a kind of collaborative impulse, not only in having to deal with each other, but having the work kind of communicate with each other and like curating and the whole thing that goes with it. But I feel like this is like my most elegant show, I think. I don't know, it's like, for me, like this year I've been like trying to like push the work a little bit more, in which I've been trying to kind of have more balance in the work, in a way simplify it, but it's kind of a deceiving way of saying simplify, because when you look at it, you see the complexities between the medium and the narrative that I'm trying to say. But I don't know, in combination with my work and Shanga's work, it's kind of powerful, like how our work kind of relates to each other. And
sort of like Daphne, I sketch it out in my little small sketchbook, and I transfer it to a bigger piece of paper at the size that I want, and I simply draw it out, but then I erase that drawing till it's like a faint line there, and I go back in and I add graphite, like with a stump, or sometimes I use just a regular pencil with a whole bunch of tissue on the end, and I make sure I keep it as light as possible. But I get every detail into the work, and that's part of my technical thing is to bring the person in and let them see things as it happens. Like, you see this and you see that and you put it together, and that's how I did it when I drew it too. I couldn't see everything, so I had to keep backing up and coming forward. I've only done group shows that has like paintings and sculptures that somehow like dominate the show. So this one is like I have a chance to be there and show up and be heard here. But I've had one other 2-person show, and that was in Norway, and that was with a sculptor. So it's kind of different. So I was still present there, but here I feel like everything goes together and it works. And,
yeah, and
calm.
it's nice.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, nobody's work kind of overpowers
Yeah,
anything.